Hey, Jim Broyles here, and I am coming to you today to share 5 really big lessons that I learned recently through a plan that went wrong. And I say wrong in quotes because I learned so much through this whole experience. So let me explain. And I want to share that I'm coming to you from my closet. So the reason for that is because where I'm staying at the moment, there's like a massive building being constructed right outside my window. So it's a little bit loud. So my closet is my quiet place. And so I get to come to you from my closet and share these 5 big lessons with you. So to give you a little bit of backstory, I've been in a period of massive transition over the past several months. I recently got a divorce and moved out of my home and into another place, and then moved out of that place and decided to put all my stuff in storage, most of my stuff in storage, and move around to different places and travel a little bit. And so through that experience of putting my stuff in storage and then moving into my first place, it created what ended up being 4 moves in 1 week. And that was not the plan. That was the plan gone wrong. So I moved into the first place. There were issues. The place actually had roaches. And so it was not a good place to be. And so I got to move out of that place into another place. And through a series of situations and events, I ended up moving not once, which was what I thought I was going to be doing, but 4 times in 1 week. And in that week, it felt chaotic. It felt like turmoil. It felt very, very uncomfortable. Because moving in and of itself is a process, and it's stressful, and it can feel like a lot. Moving 4 times in such a short period of time, just it felt so chaotic to me and very unsettling. And I literally felt like I was going to just lose it, like totally break down during that process. And there were definitely moments where I had emotional breakdowns and tears and anger and frustration. And anytime, and there were many times, that I would go into victim. And what I mean by that is asking, why me? Why is this happening? Ultimately, that is a state where we give our power away. And it's very natural for us to kind of go there when things aren't going well. But it's like having that awareness and being able to bring myself back and ask a different question. And I started to ask the question, what is the lesson in this? What do I get to learn from this experience? What are the insights? What are the lessons from this that I can take away and use it to grow and evolve? And that's when I started to see the lessons. And interestingly, too, I'm going to kind of sprinkle in a little bit of human design into this because I've really been diving deep into human design lately. And I'm learning that a lot of my gifts tie in so well with this experience. It ties in with the lessons, and it ties in with how I handled the situation. And of course, like, I didn't handle it completely like flawlessly or glamorously at all. And I was able to move through it successfully. And one of my gifts is actually being able to ask that question in difficult situations of what is the lesson, and start to shift that perception and the narrative to see, how is this for me? How is this for me? It's like I learned that is an innate gift that I have within myself, which is really interesting. And so the 5 lessons that I learned through this experience is, the first one is lone wolfing is not the way. And I have kind of been a lone wolf my entire life. Like, I like to do things on my own and show that I'm capable and independent and an individual, and I got it handled. I can do it myself. And that's all well and good, and that's actually also one of the gifts of my human design, is that I'm highly individual and highly independent. And I also get to lean on others. So another gift that I have within human design, one of the things that blocks it is not leaning on others. So I found in this experience that this was an opportunity for me to lean on others, for me to ask for support, for me to receive support, because it wasn't a burden that I was meant to carry on my own. Because trying to do it all on my own was leading to frustration, which is what they call in human design. For me, it's my not self. It's when I'm not in alignment with my highest self. It was leading to frustration and resentment and anger. And so once I started to lean on others and receive support, things started to feel easy and doable. I'm like, I can do this. So lesson number two is that I am worthy and deserving of receiving support. I've realized, and I've kind of known this over the last few years as I've been doing a lot of personal development, spiritual self-transformation work, that there is this unworthiness pattern within me that I get to move through, and I get to shift and create a new story, that I am worthy, I am deserving of, in this case, receiving support. In the past, I felt like I'm a supporter. Part of my personality style is supporter, so I love to support others, which is what makes me a great coach and guide, is that I'm great at supporting others. But it's interesting because supporters often have a feeling of unworthiness, and so they struggle to ask for and receive support. And so that I can really relate to that. And so what I got to realize and remember in this experience is that I am worthy and deserving of receiving support, and I get to ask for it. For me to expect others to reach out and offer it is not always a realistic expectation, and expectations in and of themselves, I've heard it said that expectations are ultimately leading to resentment, because most of the time, if you don't communicate your expectations, then many times they're not met because the other person doesn't know. So we're not mind readers, right? So I get to communicate and ask for support. And in my experience here in this situation, I received it with open arms and people that were more than happy to help and support. And that felt really, really good. It felt really good. The third lesson that I learned in this experience is that I don't need as much stuff as I think I do. So my whole grand plan was to put all my stuff in storage and make it easy for me to move around and travel. So my first attempt at doing that was not super successful. I did put a lot of stuff in storage, and I had already gotten rid of a bunch of stuff. So I put what I felt like was a ton of stuff, most of my stuff in storage. But I still had 3 carloads of stuff. So moving from one place to another was not easy with 3 carloads of stuff and really heavy boxes and bins that I had to lug up and down the stairs. I realized that I still had too much stuff, and I get to consolidate it even more. And so through that process, it really allowed me, it kind of forced me, it allowed me to really consolidate. And so I got rid of more stuff, and I put a few more things in storage, and I reorganized some things. And now currently, as of this video, I've got everything that I need in 1 carload. So I'm learning how to travel light and not hang on to stuff, not cling on to things. And of course, this is so different than if you're traveling for vacation. Of course, you can fit it all into a suitcase and you're good. But I'm talking about like what all, like if you were moving from one place to another, could you get all of your things into a car? And of course, if you've got a lot of furniture, the answer is no, but your essential items. And so it's been a process for me of reducing and consolidating, and it feels really good. And the fourth lesson that I learned is that there is beauty in the challenges, and in the moment it does not feel like it. It literally sucks, and it's uncomfortable, and it's annoying, and it's frustrating. And for me, I cried a ton. There were moments where I was like, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this. This isn't working. And I did it. And being on the other side of it, I can see the beauty in it, and I can recognize the lessons in it as well. One of the beautiful things in this whole experience is that when I did reach out for support, I reached out to a friend of mine and asked if I could stay with her for a few days while I was like figuring out where I was going to go next. And she just immediately said yes. And it was such great timing because the days that I stayed with her, it was her son's 2-year birthday. And so we got to celebrate that, and then she had planned a big party for him. So I got to help her like set up for that and decorate. And we just got really good quality time that would not have happened otherwise. So how great, like that it truly felt like divine timing in all of this, and in like a divinely orchestrated plan that didn't feel like it at first, but in that moment I was like, wow, this is really cool. I'm so grateful for this. The fifth lesson, and there are many more lessons, but I'm keeping it at 5. The fifth lesson is urgency and rigor. So I showed myself that I can be very urgent and rigorous when I need to be, when I want to be, when something's really important to me. And in that situation, it was really important that I got out of the first 2 places as quickly as possible. And I did. And I found a way, and I created a solution, and I made it happen. And that's because I was urgent, and I was rigorous, and I was a stand for what I believe needed to occur. And I was really standing for me and getting myself into a place that felt good, comfortable, safe, clean, free of bugs, all of that. And I showed myself that that I can be urgent, I can be rigorous, I can be in committed action, and I am strong, and I'm capable. And so it showed me really how much I'm capable of, and when I am intentional about something, and when something's important to me, I create it. And so that was really beautiful and eye-opening for me to see and experience and reflect on. So those are 5 of the big lessons that I received from this experience, this uncomfortable experience. And I believe life is our school. We're here to learn, grow, evolve, and transform, and learn the lessons and receive the lessons that our souls came here to receive. So sometimes it feels fun and easy and light, and other times not so much. Other times it feels uncomfortable. It feels difficult. Feels like you're walking through mud sometimes, and in those moments it's probably natural to resist that discomfort, when in fact allowing yourself to lean into it is going to make it a whole lot easier. That's one thing that I've realized. And nurturing yourself in those experiences, being gentle and compassionate with yourself, goes a really, really long way. So with that, I'd love to hear if any of this resonates with you, what lands with you, what did you hear me say, and what's one thing that you're taking with you to apply and integrate into your life. And if this spoke to you, then I'd love to invite you to join or get access to my freebie library of resources, which I'll put the link in the notes below, in the description below. And what you'll get in there is a bunch of holistic wellness tools, breathwork resources, because I find breathwork for me, even in this experience, to be able to tune into my breath and regulate my nervous system is so supportive when we're going through something that feels stressful, right? So you're going to get some breathwork resources along with some other holistic resources, tools, and guides in my freebie library. So I invite you to get access to that. Just click the link below to do that. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your comments below. And I look forward to connecting with you again here soon. Bye.